I'm going to ask you two to sit by,
Sure.
and I want you to watch this live interview. You'll have some comments, I'm sure, after. Frank Taaffe is George Zimmerman's neighbor down in Sanford, Florida. It was in his yard that Trayvon Martin was first seen by George Zimmerman and where the whole story began. Frank, you're with us live now. Thank you for being with us on the Fox Report.
Thank you, Harris. I got a question for Judge Ferrer.
Absolutely.
Judge, what trial you been watching? What trial you been watching? Because first of all, if they took murder 2 off the plate, which is evincing depraved mind, and the state, I don't know what trial you've been watching, but the one
I still don't know what your question is.
Still has yet, the government still has yet to disprove self-defense, and we're already talking this manslaughter.
I haven't disagreed with that. I haven't disagreed with that.
No, I've seen your interviews, and you've been on the record.
Tell me what you're talking about.
You're in the camp that you were pushing this racial profiling. I've heard you say it before.
I have been pushing racial profiling.
Judge Ferrer, let me share this with you, okay?
Frank, I'm going to step in here for 1 second. And, you know, I'm open to the fact that you guys are all going to talk. I've asked them to stay. But I want to ask you a couple things just to set this up for our viewers so that they understand your participation. You know George Zimmerman. You're friends with the family. Have you spoken with him since the night that this happened?
I spoke to him last time, April 9th of last year, right before he was taken into custody. Yes, I did chat with him.
What did you guys talk about that would pertain to this case?
Well, on the night, actually it was 2 days before he was taken into custody, he shared with me the fact that he had started his own website, that the individual that was burglarizing my house on February 2nd is the same one that was apprehended 5 days later, Mr. Emmanuel Burgess, that was brought up in closing. He shared with me that on the night that my home was being burglarized, that he was out walking his dog and he was carrying his Kel-Tec 9 with him. And the fact was, he also shared with me that I had asked him, I said, is there anything else that I can share with the public that you want me to say? I said I had a police report in front of me on the night of when Officer Tim Smith appeared on the scene immediately afterwards, and you know his nose is messed up. He had a fracture in the nose, which by the way does not need an X-ray. And secondly, the lacerations on the back of his head. And he wanted me to share that with everybody when everybody wanted to take him out and string him up.
You know, Frank, I hear you. You're defending your friend, and you're quite defensive. How do you feel about how the case is going right now? No doubt you're following this very, very closely.
Harris, I am still extremely confident that he will be acquitted. Right now, I have some insight into the fact that it's 5-1 in favor of acquittal, and the one holdout is now looking at the manslaughter charge. And it's supposed to be voluntary. If you look at it, if anything, it should have been involuntary, culpable negligence, not voluntary.
A question for you. I know you want to talk with our guests. Can you stick around after the commercial break for a minute or two?
Well, you know, I'd love to, but I'm like Andy Warhol on a 15-minute loop.
Oh, my goodness. Frank Taaffe weighing in tonight on what's happening with his friend, George Zimmerman.